So from the king of nuts and more now on luxury market in Iran. We have a guest joined by Ritu Upadhyay. She's the Middle East correspondent for Women's Wear Daily. Thanks so much for joining us, Ritu. So,
thanks, Nathan.
Thank you. How big is the luxury market going to be in Iran, do you think?
Look, there is, as you said earlier in the newscast, a pent-up demand for luxury good in Iran. And Iran has, I think the IMF has estimated their GDP to be $16,500, which when you look at emerging markets, their on-average spend is actually higher than Brazil, China, India, a lot of very significant emerging markets. So the opportunities are huge, but what actually that means for luxury, I think there's not, there's going to have to be some tempered optimism here, because luxury is a very different enigma than moving just, regular goods into a market. Luxury has a lot to do with creating experiences for customers. And I think it's going to be some time before companies are actually willing to go directly in and create luxury experiences for Iranian consumers. Not that there isn't a demand, but that demand at this point is actually being met a lot by, and it had been traditionally met during the period of sanctions, by going to other markets like Dubai, in the Gulf, Qatar, Turkey, and other places to access luxury goods.
Yeah, Iranians do like shopping, like everyone. 90% of Iranians apparently admit to shopping, or at least window shopping. How do you transform that experience? I suppose you need a growing middle class, correct?
There is a huge middle class, and increasingly in Iran now you're seeing the traditional markets being replaced by Western or American-style malls. But that doesn't yet mean that a lot of Western brands are in those malls. You do have a huge, what's been a not-so-secret gray or black market of Western goods that have come in. A lot of those via places like Dubai, where they get whitewashed and sent through other distributors into the market. Iranians have been paying a higher price for that. The middle class obviously yearns to have those products. But it's going to be a while before a lot of the Western brands start going in directly. And those that do, I think, as you said earlier, brands like Sephora, cosmetics brands, high street brands, will go in before the larger luxury brands go in.
What particular brands, on top of that, do you think that Iranians might attract Iranians, ones that they haven't had for a while?
Iranians have traditionally really enjoyed luxury and have refined tastes. And, when you think about, the creation of Persian carpets, and brands like Baccarat do very well. You're talking about $20,000 chandeliers, but Iranians really like finer things. That doesn't mean the middle class can necessarily afford a $20,000 chandelier, but there has been a resurgence of certain brands, even, that I see happening in Dubai with the retailers reporting that largely their customer bases for certain products are Iranian. And, Baccarat is a good example of that. But what will the middle class be buying? Probably not those chandeliers, but more aspirational products like, gifting items and things. Iranians like fine things. They like fine things in their home.
There's a lack of social media and internet access sometimes in Iran. A lot of marketing is done over the internet, of course, especially with luxury brands. From a marketing point of view, what's going to be the approach?
I think that luxury brands in particular are going to be targeting Iranians probably through markets like Dubai. And Dubai has traditionally been a retail tourism hub. As you mentioned, social media has traditionally been harder to access in Iran, but Iranians still do access it. They find a way around that. But I still don't think that brands are going to start marketing directly in Iran to them. I think it's going to happen still for some time through these other markets, where they'll celebrate festivals like Nowruz, where there's a lot of shopping happening among Iranians. And they'll market in the other now. And this isn't just Iran, markets like Russia, China, India. A lot of brands go into markets like Dubai first, test out their products, market their products to those communities in Dubai before they actually go fully entrenched in those countries.
Of course, Iran has luxury brands that we all want to get our hands on as well, like caviar. Thanks, Ritu Upadhyay, Middle East correspondent for Women's Wear Daily. That was a fascinating discussion.